Hello and welcome to Car Dealer Live. I'm James Bagger, I'm the founder of Car Dealer magazine, and today we're talking profit as we've just released the first Car Dealer Top 100 list of the most profitable dealers in the UK. Now the list, compiled by ASC Global and sponsored by G-Forces, pitches franchised and independent dealers against each other for the first time. For this show, I'm delighted to be chatting to the CEO of the highest placed independent, Andy Coulthurst from the Trade Centre Group. Hello Andy, thank you for joining us.
How are you? You okay?
Very good, thank you very much. Now, huge congratulations. Before we go on to how you've managed to do it, I just want to explain that the Car Dealer Top 100 list was ranked by EBITDA. This was the fairest way to do it and adjusted for exceptional items as presented on the income sheet in the group's accounts. Now, you guys came in 7th place, an amazing achievement. Turnover for 2019 of 256.5 million and EBITDA profit of 25.1 million pounds. You must be incredibly proud of that achievement, Andy.
Yeah, I'm proud. The team will be proud. To be honest with you, we were a bit disappointed in that year. We were hoping for a little bit better than that. We were probably 10% off where we'd want to be, but we're never happy. We're always striving to get that a little bit more.
It's a huge success though. I mean, I don't think you should talk yourselves down on that front. To be in the top 10. I mean, you're just behind Arnold Clark, Sitner, Pendragon, Lookers, Marshalls, Virtue, then you guys, and ahead of a huge number of franchise dealers in our list. What's the secret to the Trade Centre Group's success?
It's a team of 600 people who are all pushing in the same direction. You know, at the end of the day, we've got robust processing in place. We record everything, we track everything on a daily basis. We report weekly rather than monthly, so we're on the numbers. Albeit the way we structure as a business, it's a little bit like a Groundhog Day every week. So we chase those KPIs, but you know, down to the good job that the guys doing in the training academy do, we're consistent. So you know, you can take a store in South Wales or a store up here in Rochdale, and within very, very small percentages, they deliver consistent results within, you know, pounds, shillings and pence of each other on a weekly basis. So it's consistency really, and hard work.
Andy, tell people who might not know that much about the Trade Centre Group, about how you're set up and how it's grown over the years.
Yeah, I joined the business back in 2015. At that time, we were one large supermarket in Neath and a small part exchange outlet in Merthyr Tydfil. And since then, almost every year, we've grown by one store. So we expanded our Wales footprint in 2016 with Abercon, and we call it Cardiff North. And then we ventured into England with our first store a year later in Wednesbury, which is still our biggest store in the group. We followed that with Coventry near the Ricoh Arena, which is a retail-only store, which utilises the preparation facilities at the Wednesbury outlet. And Wednesbury also preps all the cars for our store that opened this time last year, which is in Rochdale.
So further big plans for expansion? Is that one store a year going to continue?
Yeah, we'd have another store open now if things had gone to plan and we hadn't had sort of COVID in the way. We were due to open our Rotherham store around this time. We've pushed that out till Easter, and we start doing socially distanced recruitment towards the tail end of January for that store. We're always growing. We're always in conversation with somebody about a new store, and it's just waiting for that pipeline to come off as we progress. But you know, to plan, we'd open 2 stores a year.
And in the Car Dealer Top 100 list, you're 3 places above the listed Motorpoint Group. You know, one of your rivals, I'm sure. Have you guys got any ambitions to list?
Never say never. It's not something that's hot on the agenda at the moment. We've only got geographically a small footprint in the country, so I think we'll probably expand a bit further before we gave that serious consideration.
And tell me a little bit about your history of the firm. You joined in 2015.
I was running motors.co.uk.
You were. That's quite a different
Mannheim.
Quite a different role.
Yeah.
I mean, what made you jump?
I was car dealer through and through. Before I joined Motors, I was sales and marketing director for JCT 600 in Yorkshire. And then I've been car supermarkets all my life. So I've always been a dealer who went supplier. And I enjoyed my time at Motors, and obviously we grew that business. Mannheim have disposed of that business now and sold it on. But, we're not a classified, even though I was in the classified world, we don't actually use classifieds, which people think, is a bit odd.
You've yeah, and that is one of my topics of questions was about the marketing that you guys do. I mean, it's incredibly unique, isn't it? I remember we did one of our road tests of the year in South Wales, and one of the adverts came onto the TV in the evening, and it was completely silent. And I mean, it freaked everybody out in the room. We thought there's something broken with the TV. I mean, it's very innovative things that you do. I mean, tell me about those innovative marketing techniques you use.
We're massive marketeers, so we're above the line TV. We take every single station within our regions from a radio perspective. We take as many spots in drive time as we can possibly book. We're big on outdoor. You'll have seen some of our digital format screens up and down the motorways. Paper and paste, traditional, even petrol pumps, we'll go and own every single petrol station in our region, and when you go to the pump, it's got our marketing on it. Big on digital, and we spend a huge amount of money on marketing to drive a steady footfall through the doors that ultimately gives us that consistency that we can count on every single week.
So that clearly works. And it's quite a big departure from some of the other people that I've been chatting to, who are investing hugely in digital and have stopped all of their outdoor and traditional marketing. It's something that must work for you guys. Yeah,
I mean, we do it purposely to differentiate ourselves from the market. Most dealers are heavily reliant on sort of classifieds such as Auto Trader. There's nothing wrong with Auto Trader. It serves the customers that invest in it very well. They'll get plenty of leads, but we like to cut our own way and not necessarily always 100% appeal to customers that are just in market, but bring customers to market as well by going above the line. So do you do any on those classified websites? No. We'll do some display advertising across classifieds through third parties, but not directly, no. So where do those main leads come into the business from then? Is it direct traffic to the website? Yeah, direct traffic into the website or walk-in footfall. So, we do a lot of online business, but it's customers making an appointment via the website, whether that be through a soft search finance application or making a direct appointment to visit. But a lot of what we do, because we're above the line, is actually driving in walking traffic into the stores. So how did that affect you during the lockdowns? I mean, you've obviously got a number in Wales, and there's a fire break. We had a challenge. We've had a challenge with COVID, like other retailers. A little bit of an extra challenge in the fact that we had half of our footprint in Wales and half in England. So we've been subject to different lockdown rules. There's actually only been in the last financial year, which is finished November, there was only the 3 months, December, January and February, where we didn't have at least one region in some format of lockdown or fire break. So it's been difficult. So we've been stop-start, and we've been having to use, think on the hoof in terms of new campaigns to make sure we take advantage of that pent-up demand when it comes back. But it's one of those things, and we've got to deal with it. We've dealt with it. We think, going back with hindsight, we wouldn't change anything we've done. and we continue to sell lots of cars.
And what are your thoughts then on online car sales? I mean, there's a number of new entrants into the market, into the used car area. What are your thoughts when it comes to online car sales?
I think those businesses that have set up to attack, there is a market there for a customer that will do a complete purchase and delivery online, and there'll be a handful of new digital dealers that go out and take advantage of that small portion of the market that will buy a car in that way. And you can't really criticize the way they've gone about it. Everything, look, the websites are nice. They seem, because they're reporting that they're doing plenty of sales, but ultimately, they only need a small penetration in a smaller market to make that business a success. So, best of luck to them, really.
So, for your future is going to be heavily betted on the fact that customers are going to want to continue to come into showrooms and not transact online.
Yeah. The journey will start online with most, the majority of our customers, but we are still a bricks and mortar business, and will continue to be.
And Andy, do you think that's why your deals are more profitable than others?
Well, one of the reasons that we're more profitable is we have a really strong finance penetration. So our finance penetration is sort of 72 to 74%, whereas the sort of supermarket industry tends to be around 40, 45%. But its volume is the big driver for us, not necessarily profit per unit. Yeah, we do make a little bit more. I did some quick looking at some numbers this morning. So we sold just short of 40,000 cars in the numbers that you're looking at in your table. And equate that back to sort of profit before tax. Yeah, we made at net profit level £510 a car. So it's not a lot. It's not a lot of money per unit. But when you've got other retailers out there that are working for a net profit per unit of £300, £350 a car, ours does seem like it's a stronger profit per unit. But some of that's volume driven because we've got our cost base is spread across 40,000 retail units. Give
me an idea, Andy, of the sort of customers you deal with.
Very, very broad range. So we'll have a nice a retired couple here wandering the showroom, and we'll have a 20-odd-year-olds from all sorts of demographic. You would say there'd be a weighting to sort of blue collar car shopper who wants good value, but all extremes. Our profile of stock is different to some of the car supermarkets, so we're not in that nearly new market where we've got lots and lots of cars that are sort of 12 months old and just a few thousand miles. So we do appeal to sort of the budget conscious car shopper.
What's it been like getting hold of stock this year?
Okay, yeah. Bit frustrating, everything going online, because we're a bit traditional. We like to be in the auction hall and bidding on cars. We've sort of come to terms with that now. Volume wise, we've not had a problem stocking up. We've still got a few more cars to buy pre-Christmas. We always open Boxing Day with a big sale, so we're stocked to the rafters at the moment, and we'll sell over 1,000 cars a week come Boxing Day.
And how have you fared in this COVID year? I mean, you've touched on it a little bit, but I mean, what could we expect from your numbers next year without giving too much away?
I think without if everybody else stayed exactly the same in next year's table, we would slip backwards. But I think a lot of the retailers will slip backwards a little bit. We're going to slip back a little bit, but the good thing is we can now see that as we step into this financial year, of which this is the first month, we're selling more cars than we were doing this time last year. We don't expect to be selling any less cars in January. We might have a slight hiccup where Wales might go into some lockdown again after Christmas, so that will affect us for a short period of time. But then we've got Rotherham coming on stream, which will add to the profitability, because we don't open stores and, you know, sort of pilot them, and, you know, we go full marketing, and our units are profitable on day one. So we'll get a big contribution from Rotherham this year as well.
And as CEO, Andy, what do you spend most of your days doing?
Just, I mean, we're very hands-on. So, you know, you'll find me and you'll find the other directors, you know, any point during the week we're here on a site. Yes, we're doing some stuff, you know, at the desk, but we're also down on the shop floor talking to the team, staying on top of the numbers, and a lot of my time spent on the marketing side of the business as well. So not only coming up with sort of creative and strategies, but also making sure that that money is best spent. Yep, we're busy.
Is any of those marketing campaigns, especially if you've had a very close hand on them yourself, that you're really proud of? Is there anyone that you think that you'd like to be remembered for?
We did a German car clearance back when Brexit was first being voted on, or just been voted through. We did a German car clearance, which had a bit of a Europe angle on it, which was quite funny and very, very successful as well. But the thing we're most famous for, and you've heard it, is you've not heard it, it's a silent advert. So, you know, that gets commented on time and time again. Only I've had one complaint from somebody who thought the television was broke. But,
well, and two now, because I thought my TV was broken too.
No.
But finally, Andy, what are you looking forward to the most in 2021? And have you got a message for your staff who have seen this fantastic success in the Car Dealer Top 100 list?
Yeah, I think, you know, my hopes for 2021, what I'm really looking forward to is getting involved with the recruitment for our Rotherham stores. We lead that, you know, the board are there at the recruitment sessions. We meet the people and we form our relationships and bond with our team very, very early. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And really for our team, you know, I'll say it on here, but they get told it time and time again, you know, big pat on the back, another good year. And let's just, you know, try and put 2020 behind us and have a fantastic 2021.
Andy, huge congratulations to you and the team. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas and that Boxing Day sale goes well, and the new year is just as successful as this year has been.
Thanks very much.
Really good to see you. Thank you. Thanks
Bye-bye.
ever so much. So great to see Andy there. Thanks ever so much for Andy for joining us. Now, if you'd like to find out who else has made the Car Dealer Top 100 list, you can log on to cardealermagazine.co.uk and click on the Top 100 tab at the top of the page. Thanks ever so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.